Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, sizes, everything, colors, welcome back to another episode of East Meets West. Sorry we've been away from y'all for so long. We should have left y'all with another song, Step 2. Shout out to Aaliyah. But yeah, we're doing a Pistons episode, as you can see behind me. Um, it's your boy, Opinionated MJ, if you forgot. Your boy Conrado, aka the Scout himself.
That's right.
And yeah, we are coming to y'all with basically a breakdown of the Pistons last 10 games and just observations and things. Um and just jumping straight into it, let's highlight your boy real quick before we go into the 10
All right.
games. Ron Holland, bro, that last game. The last game. How are you feeling? Because you've been feeling the way about Ron Holland, the actual fact that we drafted him and what you've seen in him, and the fact that if there was something that we were going to do, it wouldn't be to move him. So, how are you feeling about that game where K was sitting, THJ was sitting, and he came in and dropped 26 and played crazily stifling defense and just really showed up, man. Like he really stepped up where we basically needed him to. So, how you feel about that? Like, what's your take?
Well, you know me, right? Especially when you do scouting, you don't want to use any one performance, good or bad, right?
Yeah,
To try to use as justification for whatever you feel, right? Confirmation bias, basically, right? You want to try to
right.
avoid that. But all that's to say is that obviously, yeah, I think you and I were pretty high on Ron Holland about his skill set, his potential. Um, when I think it depends who you ask. I think some people really liked the pick from the get go. Some were a little skeptical of it. Some just outright didn't like it, because they
Right.
had like their preconceived notions about Ron Holland.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, uh, I think a lot of non Pistons fans, especially uh, I won't say national media, but like people that are outside of the Pistons community that like actually
Yeah.
cover the NBA. I think they're really starting to take notice or to really emphasize how well a JB Bickerstaff's coaching staff has brought Ron Holland along.
Yeah.
I know like Keith Smith, Brett Usher had like similar sentiments saying
Yeah.
this is kind of what we talked about in the preseason, right? I think back to, and I'm not trying to say that Ron Holland will become Kawhi. I just liked the way Pop brought along Kawhi. He
Right.
just was very candid with Kawhi from the start. He's like, it's okay. It's okay that like your jumper is inconsistent, or really for Kawhi, it was non-existent, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And he just said, like, let's just focus on this first. Defense and rebounding, right? Defense, rebounding, and like tertiary passing. And let's just keep adding layer upon layer upon layer. There's no
Hmm.
need to be able to like they don't expect you to be like, they don't expect him to be a finished product in day one. And
Right.
I think I like that. I mean, I know at times like we're like, hey, right, we could give Ron Holland some more minutes, but hey, that's where the platitude goes, right? Patience is a virtue. And I
Yeah.
think that patience, both that the coaching staff had with Ron and Ron had with the coaching staff, is kind of paying off. I think this last game was a culmination of that. But again, I think a lot of fans, either you forgot or you didn't know. I mean, he basically was a point guard, point forward, whatever you want to call him, right?
Yeah.
For the G League Ignite in high school. I know some high school point guards, that point guard skills don't translate to the pros or to college or to the pros. But I'm
Right.
just saying, like, he has that mentality. He is wired that way. And if you saw the way his scoring was great, but the
Yeah.
manner in which he was setting up his teammates,
Hmm.
like, there was one where he, like, moving screens can be very irritating for
Yeah.
any, for any guard or for any team, right?
Yeah.
But oftentimes, I feel like the bigs kind of get sold out, right? Thrown under the bus on moving screens. You have to give the big enough time to establish the screen
Right.
before you turn the corner. Otherwise, then yeah, it's a moving screen. Ron
Right.
did a great job of that, right? Where he actually allowed, I believe it was like Sasser
Mm.
to set
Yeah,
right
we're
like a
gonna talk
screen
about
on
him
the left
next.
wing, right?
Yeah.
He goes around, right, and then he kicks it
Mm.
right back to Sasser, right, and he gives Sasser the open three because what Ron does is he cuts back to the top of the arc, but in cutting, it's kind of like a brush screen, right?
Right.
He's preventing the defense from closing out on Sasser, so Sasser had an open three. That's what I'm saying. You see, like
Yeah.
he really has. He's very intuitive like that. And I think he knows that, but now it's really, starting to
Click.
come together in game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of it's a. I mean, again, you don't want to be like victory lapping anything, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's. I think both Ron himself and the coaching staff should really feel good about the work, that they put in together. Because, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's showing exactly why he should be, I'm not going to say a franchise player, but at least a building block moving forward.
Right. Okay. Okay. So let's jump right into the your other guy, Marcus Sasser. You brought him up. That game was actually pretty good. I wasn't anticipating that he would play that well, that controlled, be that effective, but he was to the tune of what did he do? 20 points, I want to say. And yeah, because it was him, Holland, and I forget who else was like the top scorers, but he was second, if I'm not mistaken. So how are you feeling about what you've seen from Sasser? Do you feel like where we were with him from what, like the beginning of the season to now, that he has actually taken some steps that we may have not really seen because we've been paying attention to Cade and everybody else. We acquired Dennis Schroeder, so there's some minutes that's missing for him. But like when it's time for him to step up, he comes like and steps up. Like this isn't the first time he had that 25 pointer or something like that game where he had like 7 or 8 assists and whatnot. The last time that he had to play big minutes, and I just want to know what your observations are on him as well. Now, like, do you feel like he's like making it where he's a staple as well in the rotation?
Two things come to mind when I think about Marcus Sasser. One is like if you don't really, really pay attention to either the box scores or like the team stats, he's like quietly very efficient, and not just efficient, like consistent. Again, like my little catchphrase I like to use with players a lot lately, right? He's a low variance player,
right?
Shooting 47% from the field, 37.9 from three, 86.1 from the free throw line,
and that's on the season.
Yeah, he's cutting his turnovers down, less than a turnover per game. Obviously, he's playing, less minutes, but I mean, his assists are still on par. You know what I'm saying? As from last year when he played a little bit more. So, I mean, that's one thing, which is kind of cool because again, right?
That's great.
As coaches would always say, right, when it comes to your bench, coaches like to know what to expect from their players. That's not to say necessarily like, oh, I expect you to, score this many points or get this many rebounds and stuff like. But no, like, you're gonna come in. I can expect what you're going to be doing on the court. Like you're looking to get these types of looks, you know what I'm saying? Or you're trying to get your teammates in this position. Sasser's been doing that. So I got to give him credit, because he was bad in summer league, a little bit better in the preseason. So he's kind of regained his mojo. And the second one is still very much about Sasser, but it is also about Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know about you, but for me, Schroeder's been a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation like when we trade for him, like, oh, do we see continuing this partnership, past this year? And I'm not saying they won't.
Yeah.
He hasn't really given any reason why you should. Like say like he hasn't like solidified his case other than like you have his bird rights. Because like again, on a night like last night when Cade is not playing and Cade is like the offense.
Yeah, basically.
Like you would think that that was an opportunity for Schroeder, to step up. Like you are being given the offense. You got the keys of the offense for one night. Like it's your show.
Right.
And it was Sasser. And I'm happy for Sasser. But at the same time, Schroeder has obviously like he's had some moments. He's come up with some big timely shots. Or some good assists. But I mean, like, for whatever reason, after he got traded out of Brooklyn, like, because with the Warriors, too, I can tell you, right, as a Warrior fan, like, up close, he was not particularly good. He wasn't good for us. I thought, okay, maybe it's like a system fit.
Right.
Yeah. And now he's like with Brooklyn. There's really no other point guard on the roster other than Cade. Like he's
Mhm.
given like JB's like, this is it. Take it. This is
Yeah.
your role. And I don't think he hasn't ran with it. You know.
No, I don't.
Um.
I agree with you. Like I actually like expected more of him, but he kind of still looks out of sorts to me. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he may need to be somewhere and build some continuity up and know where he can attack, what he can do, and know just what the tendencies are of our players as well. So I'm not sure if he fits with it like that. Like maybe if THJ was out there, there's a little more he could have done because he would have had another just flat out shooter out there. But I mean, Malik Beasley can do it. You know what I mean? But um at the same time, it's like he just some of those passes, turnovers, the things that he even did just off the dribble just looked out of sorts for him. Like
Right.
for what I've seen from him in places like you're saying Brooklyn, Atlanta, and other places where he's been like, okay, you're our point guard. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see that Dennis Schroeder. So I'm just hoping going forward that he just continues to at least just give us good minutes when Cade is out and he's in, and then be a threat on the floor when Cade is on the floor with them. And I'll be satisfied with that. You know what I mean? And then if
Yeah.
he makes it to next season with us, then I'm definitely going to want to see more. But going into this playoff run, I need to see him like, yeah, I need timely buckets. I need crispy passes. I need like stifling defense at times when he can do so. Use his speed as his advantage and whatnot, his length, and just I don't know, just keep his head down. Like don't worry about scoring 20 points or nothing like that if you're especially if you don't have a hot hand. And just focus on making sure the team is still running like a pretty decently oiled machine. You know what I mean? As when Cade comes out, type of deal. Like don't let us fall off a damn cliff like how it was when Cade would come out some 20, 30 games ago. You know what I mean? Where it's like up,
Yeah.
Cade's in the game, we're up. Cade's in the game, we're down. You know what I mean? Like we're negative, whatever without him, but we're a plus, whatever with him. Give us it, at least break us even. I'll be cool with that. I'll accept that, especially if Sasser is going to be stepping up like that and coming in, making some timely shots, playing really good minutes. Even though he probably won't, I'm not sure what the playoff rotation will be. Maybe we could talk about that, but because what do we have? Like playoff rotations usually cut down to about 8 or 9,
8 or
and
9. Yeah.
is Sasser going to make that rotation? You know what I mean? Like, or will we have like a 10 man? Will we have like a you know what I mean? Like, what do you see with that? Like with Dennis Schroeder and
So
Toe.
I agree with
Uh
you that Schroeder definitely he definitely is impacting the game outside of scoring.
yeah.
Right. I mean, if I'm looking at this correctly, in his time here in Detroit, he's averaging 4.8 assists to only 1.2 turnovers.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
that's solid. That is
Yeah.
very solid.
Yeah.
And like as we said, right, when we made the trade for him, like at the very least, you're providing ball handling,
Right.
ideally a little bit more ball security,
Hmm.
facilitation, you know.
Right.
So he has done that. I can't say that he isn't. However, I mean, he's averaging 10.6 points, but 39.5% from the field, 32.9 from three.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, um, you ask about like the rotations and Sasser's role, and that's where I think that's why I have to bring up Schroeder in talking about Sasser, because I don't think you can have both of them on the court at the same time.
No.
To me, it's going to be one or the other. So now it's like you have 10 games to decide who's really going to get those minutes,
Right.
Dennis or
Okay.
Marcus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's definitely pros or cons. I mean, obviously, we know if Sasser is shooting the way we know he can or he has been,
Yeah.
damn,
It's Saturday all day.
like he's making his right because
He said,
again,
"Damn."
and then you now have to also involve Ron Holland in the discussion
Yeah.
because if
Yeah.
you're trusting Ron to again at the very least just be a or at most a secondary ball handler,
Right.
then he and Sasser can be on the court at the same time. They can coexist. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how much then do you need Dennis's ball handling if you got other guys out there who you
That's
trust? Now, I'm not sure that JV's ready to put that amount of responsibility on Ron. I don't know. And at the same time, again, Schroeder is like battle tested. I mean, he's
Yeah.
been in a lot of playoff games, so I would assume. So maybe this conversation's moot, but I think I don't know what it is. Like, you have the shooters, you have the lob threats. I don't understand why Schroeder's just not. He's like not pulling the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's gun shy out there.
You can still
And
hear me,
because of
right? You
that,
can still hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Had a
Yeah,
little
so
glitch
that's what
where
I'm
it went.
saying. Like, I think that is, I mean, I see all those posts about, oh, well, cool, like Ivy might to the playoffs. Like, that's cool, but I'm not a pessimistic person. But like when it comes to injuries, like if it happens,
Like
cool. I'm
that.
not banking on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to come back. I'm not banking on that, and that's the reason why I say that is because this is our roster. You know,
Yeah.
this is who we're going to battle with. So now we got to figure out, right? Like what's our best strategy, And as we've seen, even though like again, we this team has for the most part exceeded all expectations. No, I'd say they exceeded all expectations. I know you and I thought more highly of this team than other people,
Yeah.
but I think they've even exceeded our expectations to a certain
Yeah.
extent.
That's like a
But
beautiful
when you
callback too.
right, but when you exceed expectations, it's fair to reassess and reset expectations,
Right.
or goals, I should say, reset your goals. And so if we want to be more than just a team that's happy to make the playoffs,
Mhm.
you actually want to do something of significance,
Right.
then yeah, I think we do need to acknowledge that there have uh, been like the holes in the roster have been exposed at certain times.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
uh, there has been like a little bit more of like inconsistent play. It's kind of
Yeah.
rearing its head, and so yeah, I mean those are the things that moving forward in these last 10 games, they kind of need to figure out. So maybe like
So call them out. Call them out. Let's hear them. We need. It's best now. This is the best time for it. Like call out the holes that you see in the game. Well, other than us still over defending and letting them shoot threes. Like I keep seeing that sometimes. It's not as frequent as it was at the beginning of the season. But go ahead and like give us your assessment.
I mean, in no particular order. I'm not prioritizing, but yeah, you just said one of them right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Or at least
one
like a top
thing.
three.
I mean, again, right? Like the best way to prevent teams from putting a lot of threes on your head
Yeah.
is to just prevent them from taking threes in the first place.
Right.
You could make it say, okay, it's been a long season. They're a little tired, so maybe they're not like they're not running guys off the line with as much urgency. I can
Right.
kind of buy that, you know. However, it's like you said, right? Kind of a couple of some of the bad tendencies of overhelping, they
Yeah.
could be related. But this is again where you need a little bit more from Schroeder. You need Beasley and THJ to just move.
Yeah.
You can't just be a statue out there. And I'm not trying to put all this on Schroeder. It's just again this because I feel like he's the reason why I keep bringing him up is because I feel like he has the experience,
Right.
Or like the ability to kind of mitigate some of these problems. Because another one again is offensive stagnation. You know,
Okay.
both
Yeah.
both in the starting lineup and in the backups, right? But I mean, too much uh Beasley, pounding the rock and then taking like some 30-foot step back, you know.
Mhm.
THJ just like whatever. I'm gonna shoot over like two guys. And by the way, I hope he gets better,
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are what I'm saying, right? I mean, like Shooter, again, you are the point guard, and this goes to Cade too. If it seems like
Yeah.
I'm picking on Dennis, but no, I'm serious, right? You guys are the point guards. You need to actually put them in a position where they don't have to be doing those things.
Right.
Um, Even to a lesser extent, Duren, Stewart, like you can't just be aimlessly setting screens. Like, what's
Right.
the point of setting a screen if the guy's not even gonna like swing around? You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? Like, you have to lead them, right? It's like like a quarterback, right? Throw your receiver open. Same thing that these guys got to do, you know,
Yeah.
especially when like they're being trusted for like those DHOs. So that's more execution, But
Mhm.
again, they have to actually commit to doing it. Um, Otherwise, these other teams are just gonna pick you apart in the passing lanes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Especially
Um,
in playoffs. Like it's a lot of veteran coaches on the East, and they will, like not saying that JB isn't, but our players are still young. Like overall, our core is still young, so they can be dissected with the right coach. You know what I mean on the other end. So you calling it out right,
yeah.
and it's
Um, I would say this one goes on Durant, and actually more so Beef Stew. And you know how much we
oh
love him here on East
oh
Meets West.
yeah
Stop hunting for blocks, because I know,
he's
right? Like he's hearing the noise that he's
yeah
considered one of the best defensive players in the league. He's not going to win DPOY, but he's hearing the noise now. Like everyone's yelling it in his ear that like at the very least he should be a candidate and he should be like on the all defensive team. I don't
yeah
disagree. But I feel like now like he's trying to go out there and show it in the box score that he is. And
yeah
he's making like some really, really reckless plays out there. And I'm not even talking about like, the plays where he is getting called for like flagrant fouls, which okay,
yeah
bro, you can control yourself just a little bit, just a
just
little
a
bit,
little bit, just a little bit,
It's a
right?
fine line. I know with players like that, right? I'm not going to tell you to like not be a dog. You're a dog. But at the same
Right.
time, right? He knows. He knows like come on, man. Like when you're going across like two players' bodies to get the block, right? There's like two players between you to get the block.
Yeah.
Like come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean, and he probably also has another thing in his head, which is something I actually heard today, and that is that since the break, he has the most blocks in the league. He's the leader
Yeah.
since the All-Star break. So that may also be something that's on his head or that he may be paying attention to on the stat sheet or just, since the break. I don't know if somebody breaks it down to him like that or the coaching staff may come to him like, you've been doing like this since the break. So keep that up. So maybe he's, you know, going above and beyond to try to just take the next step and try to just be high fly blocking and whatnot. Like it's not 2K, beef stew. Like we need you to still just basically be a statue when these players are trying to dig in down low. When they're trying to get by you coming from the wing or if they're on the block, wherever they're coming from, just make sure you hold your ground and keep doing it the way you were because you were already one of the blocks leaders anyway. And definitely just if not a block leader, you were one of the higher percentage rim protectors on like some of those. I know you've seen some of the like the statistics about like where he ranked as far as just the ability to just stop what his percentage of stopping players at the rim was, and that might be something going to his head too. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. And
Yeah.
before we jump into the schedule, one more that we've been kind of back and forth with this year, and it's no offense to you, we love you, we just wanted more of you, and I think we're starting to see it, and you know where we're going. That's why you're laughing.
I
It's
was about to
it's
bring him
it's
up. Go
Duran.
ahead.
It's Duran. Go for it. It's
Oh no,
Duran.
that's not who I
So
was going to bring up. Okay, my bad.
Jalen Duran. Yep. Let's get it. So how you feeling about him with his 20-point performances and he's
Okay.
putting up boards more consistently and I can't say he's been getting blocks every game because I don't think he got one last game. I don't think so. But he's been defending a little bit better. He's been running the floor. He's actually been going off the dribble a lot more too.
Yeah.
And maybe that's another thing. Like when you say Duran and Beef Stew, like they're potentially in their head hearing the noise and like, oh, well, I can do this too. You know what I mean? And I think that might be something that's something I'm seeing him do more. Like off of screens and DHOs. Sometimes he's actually just dribbling it. He's driving in. You know what I mean? Like trying to go downhill. And he's had some success, but just all in all, like how are you feeling about Duran now at this point, as opposed to 20, 30, 40 games ago? Uh-oh. He's
I mean,
getting
no,
in his
I think
bag.
Duran's play. No. Duran's play. A large reason of why I think after the turn of the calendar year,
Yeah.
why this team really, really took off, and we
Hmm.
went on like those multiple winning
Win
streaks,
streaks. Yeah.
was directly correlated to Duran's improved play.
Yeah.
I don't really have as much criticism for him. I would say the same thing too. I
Yeah.
think if anything, he's a little bit at times worse at hunting blocks, than
Yeah, he
Beef Stew.
is.
Well, the reason why I bring it up with Beef Stew is because typically Beef Stew isn't,
Right.
right. Like Beef Stew is more like, remember how we had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Beef Stew in the past has been a very stout paint protector.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
even if he doesn't get a block, he's going to stop you in the paint, whether that's a deflection or, a teammate comes in for the steal because, he's able to change the shot, or he just flat out forces you into a missed field goal.
Right.
Right. Durant is more of like, I'm going to drop back and I'm going to swat at everything that comes my way. That's fine.
Right.
But lately, like I said, we can't afford to have either of them get in foul trouble, let
No,
alone both.
they've been doing it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like in that win streak, why are you getting like all those 20 and 10s or 20 and 20s? Right.
Yeah.
It's because you're on the court.
Right.
You're not in foul trouble.
I mean,
And you're
that's
playing
true.
a lot more disciplined. When he plays a little bit more disciplined, I'm just talking about defensively.
Yeah.
This team goes to another level.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because
real
what do we all
tough.
say, right? I mean, why do we call it back line? Back line. Because you are at
Yeah.
the back. You are at the last line of the defense. But when you can defend like that on the back line, then it makes your perimeter defenders, even the weak ones,
Mhm.
like
Better.
more viable options, right? Like, so,
Mm.
okay, cool. Like, yeah, Beasley, THJ, you got burned a little bit, but you know what? You made him stutter step just enough. Durant will clean it up. But now when
Right.
he's like lashing out, like, jumping out, leaping out,
Mm.
at guard, like, I don't need you to do that, right?
Right.
Like, don't ever get past the nail. Don't. Stop it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Definitely. They're not agile
Yeah.
enough to recover that. They'll
Yeah.
just be watching.
And actually, before we move on, the guy I thought you were going to bring up, but overall, like, there have been a couple, like, in some of these losses where he did get in foul trouble. But overall, he's been good. I'm hoping he can stay playing at that good, like that level.
Yeah.
The one guy, though, who I feel like needs a shout out of a reminder of things that he needs to kind of like, I don't know, eat your spinach, drink some Gatorade, whatever, listen to your favorite music. Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris. It took a while, right? It took a while, but remember,
Yeah.
like, he, again, around turn of the new year, I don't know.
Yeah.
He
was
decided, like, I
playing.
want to be like Tobias Harris again, right?
Yeah.
These last couple games, I'm not feeling. First of all, like, I'm sorry, he cannot finish a game with less than 10 shots.
Points okay.
I'm just talking about shots. If I
Shots,
see
yeah.
in the box score that you took less than 10 shots, frankly,
Yeah.
even 10's like two. Frankly, he should be taking at least 12
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say 12. Yeah.
because he needs to be aggressive. He's one of the only guys, other than Cade, right? Like, he can consistently get to the line and make his free throws, right?
Right.
We want guys to get to the free throw line and make the free throws, right?
Right.
Like, he does that. These last couple games are a couple games where I don't know if I want to call him passive, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't finish a game with like 8 shots, 9 shots. I'm not feeling that. Unless you're going 9 of 9, which you're not, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because one of those games he
So-
had like 7 or 8 points, something like that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
like
bro.
3 of 9 from the field.
Yeah.
No free throws, and maybe you got a bad whistle. But I'm saying, right, like, you got to at least make the refs, think about that.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put some pressure on the rim. Otherwise, again, right, like, we're a quick out. The less that those guys do that, if we don't get enough from Tobias, you don't get enough from Duren, that just puts even more responsibility, more pressure on Cade.
To come save us in the third quarter and then hope that he has enough gas in the fourth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, right? We got to really think about what we were doing in those extended win streaks, right? If we do that, Yes, I still believe this team can win a first round matchup, depending on who our opponent is. You know,
Knicks.
but I maybe we're homers. I would pick us.
I
I would
I,
pick us.
I would too,
Maybe
because I
we'll
think
talk about
we're
the Knicks on a separate episode, but they're
yeah
leaking water.
yeah we'll definitely
They're
do
leaking
a
water.
playoff preview.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
they are. Um. Okay. Well, let's. Okay. So we gonna move on to the schedule now. The last 10 games, because it's the last 10 games for the Pistons. We are 40-32 right now. We uh we play the Spurs tomorrow. So should I just go all in on picks, or should we just do it how we did it last time? Like I bring
Sure.
up the team and then we pick. You gonna keep the tally, or you want me to keep it? I got a notebook
Um,
nearby.
go for it.
Okay. Um. Well, tomorrow I'm going for us. They don't have Wemby,
Yeah.
so I'm automatically picking us to beat them. Now that Cleveland on Friday, though. Cleveland did just come from a losing streak, but they got out of it. Um, they're trying to push Evan Mobley as a defensive player of the year. So I'm thinking that they may try to be a little stifling, and it's not that I believe they're fully healthy, right? Yeah, for the most part, they're fully healthy, and
Um,
I feel like that team tries to prove something against JB for some reason. Like it just feels that way. You know what I mean? Like Dwayne Casey when we had him and he went against Toronto, like we would beat Toronto every time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's a part of me that feels like that. So I mean, I won't be such a big homer, especially with the Cavs looking like the best, one of the best in the East. Um, and then where is it at? Where is the game? Is it even here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So
in
okay.
Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in Detroit.
Yeah, it's Little Caesars. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Cavs for that
Okay.
game because I think just based on all of the things that you brought up, that we may show some lapses in a game against a team of that caliber right now. You know what I mean? Like especially if we like destroy the Spurs. Like we'll probably get a big head again, and we'll probably be like, we're about to go beat the cat. You know what I mean? Because we'll be
Yeah.
just on that high. Like I think that is an actual aspect of what's going on with our team. Like we're we're beginning the transition to we're about to be the next young team that's like one of the better teams just overall period because we're building continuity and longevity over time and we've been keeping our core together, but we may still need one more year to fully solidify that. And that may be a game where we see it kind of show its ugly head. And we got a tough schedule over the next couple games too. Good lord, a little bit. Who you
Hmm.
going with in that game?
In Cleveland,
Yeah,
I'm I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
yeah,
Just because they dropped four in a row
yeah.
on that West Coast trip, and they no longer have the best record in the league.
Right.
So I wonder if they're still going to try to compete for a little bit to see if they can close the gap on OKC.
Yeah.
Because then who knows, right? Like, to have overall home court advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs, right? Maybe that matters for them. So I do. However, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Obviously, we weren't in that locker room. Maybe people that were more in tune could tell us. I don't really know why. I'm with you. It seems like I don't know. It seems like they go out of their way to like say we don't need you, JB.
Mm-hmm. They do.
It's really I
Yeah.
don't know. It's weird.
Like
It's weird.
it that might have
Again,
been a Donovan Mitchell thing too, because he was
yeah,
potentially gonna get, or want to leave, and then it was like, oh well, JB, oh well, Donnie's in, and it was like all in. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's back. We're not trading Garland, this and that. Like, it was like one thing needed to happen in order for them to commit, and I feel like it was JB. I feel like I don't know from
But
whom, but it seems like it was
so
JB.
yeah, I'll go with you. I'm with you. I'll go with Cleveland to win that one.
Yeah.
However, I'm hoping
Oh,
that on the flip side, our guys will stand up for JB,
yeah,
and have like a fantastic game,
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. All right, so now the Pistons hit the road, and on Sunday, March 30th, They
Mm.
visit Minnesota. What do you got?
Um, Minnesota up and down. I mean, I feel like if we can keep, if we either let Anthony Edwards get off and shut the rest of the team down, or if we force the team to beat us and shut him down, we win. So I'm gonna go Pistons just because it's kind
Okay.
of two sided. Like they don't really have a set way that they play. I know Julius has been playing a little bit better lately, but and he's starting to, I guess, show his, his like he's just starting to be Julius again. So, but with that being said, like I mean, if Nas Reed is not shooting lights out on us, which he is a stretch, and that's gonna be a problem for like Beef Stew and Duran. If he's not getting off, then I think we get that game. I do.
So I have two thoughts about this matchup.
Okay.
One, um, Asar is not his
Hmm.
brother. He's not his brother.
Right.
However, I think the NBA community truly believes that their games are
Similar.
becoming like almost identical.
Right.
So Minnesota struggles with Amen Thompson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because their games are so similar, I'm gonna say they're gonna struggle against Asar.
So
So
okay, we've been having a menace thing with SR too, though, where just a lot of people were pointing out over I don't think it was the last four now, but it was like probably for the Pelicans game or maybe before that game that
yeah,
the last four games where he was playing. I guess they were saying under 20 minutes, and
yeah.
we went 1-3 or something like that. You know what I mean? But they were saying when he plays a little over, we're more consistent. Like we're just winning overall. You know what I mean?
So I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, some of it I know was foul trouble, at least in one of those games.
Yeah.
But the others, I'm not sure if it's like this is like whatever kind of unofficial minutes restriction
Yeah.
or whatever. But regardless, assuming he's playing, even if he gives you 20 minutes,
Yeah.
if it's 20 minutes on Ant,
Oh yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to believe that could kind of swing it. And then another thing too, you brought up Nas Reed.
Yeah.
Nas Reed struggles against fellow stretch fives.
Okay.
I've noticed that. So
Okay.
I want to believe that Beef Stew will be able to either like cancel, like cancel out his production or
Yeah.
shut him down. And well,
Who?
again, it's Beef Stew. Lock in, lock in.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm never gonna tell Beef Stew to calm down.
No.
I'm just gonna be
No.
like, yo, like let's play aggressively smart.
Right.
You
I
know what
like
I'm saying? Yeah.
that. Play
Because
aggressively
again, like right,
smart. Go
because
ahead
like
and
I
bark.
want that intensity, I want that physicality, but we can't
Yeah.
waste it on like ticky tack fouls.
Right.
And if you know they're gonna call him, like you
Yeah.
can't. No matter how much you yell at the refs, it's not gonna change anything. So that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
Right.
but no, I would not want him to like dial down his intensity. No,
No, I'm
no.
not for that either.
Like the second other fan bases stop calling him a dick, that's when he's doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Like, no, you've
Exactly.
lost.
Because they have been, bro, for real. They've
Oh
been
no, I
really
see it on
calling
social media
that.
all the time. Oh, Isaiah
Yes.
Stewart's like the biggest jackass in the NBA, man.
And then, but then when
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, who do we want to try to get from the Pistons?" Who's always included in the damn trade, though? It's him.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, kill that noise.
So actually, I'm with you. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm going to Detroit, even though they're on the road. I believe that I believe the Pistons can pull that one off. Plus, you get some time off.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's the start of a road trip, so you're not completely like whatever, jet lagged or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Uh, okay, so
Then
after that,
roll.
um,
The Thunder.
we're Wednesday. So again, we have time off. Wednesday, April 2nd. We're in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I'm very simple on this one.
You say you very what? Simple?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it real and go OKC.
Yeah, me too. Because
Yeah,
I remember at the beginning of the year, remember what your prediction was for OKC's record?
what was it?
You said like you were very staunchly adamant. You're like OKC is going to win 67 games. And I think they truly believe that. I think they want to go for it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's specifically that number, but they have 12 losses. I think they really want to like have like
be
a
one of
historical franchise record. I
yeah,
think they want to push for like the high 60s. So I
yeah,
don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to take that one.
yeah. Yeah, I just keep it real. If it, of course, y'all, we want the Pistons to win all of these games, but we just being real with it. Um, and then we play the Raptors that Friday, April 4th. Is that a road game?
That's on
Yeah.
the road. Yeah.
Um, so I'm going Pistons because I think the
Yeah.
Raptors are more than likely in some kind of tank mode. You know what I mean? Like Scotty Barnes might do his thing, but for the most part, I think they're looking at it like we're not doing anything this season. So why are we gonna like try to make some type of run where we actually limit where we draft at? You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
may just kind of
They
just
are they are ethical tankers,
yeah, exactly.
right? Yeah. So
Right.
like they will not rest, or they won't like sit all of their stars all at once. Like Scotty, you're gonna play one game, but RJ, Emmanuel, you take this night off, right? Then the
Right.
next one, or like Scotty and Hurdle will play one game,
Yeah.
then they'll sit the next one, but the next one, right? Like Quickly and RJ will play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but then it's the other guys, like the two-way guys, right?
Mhm.
Oh, former what's his name? Uh what is his name? My God, I was showing him so much love the other day.
Not Yaka.
Jared Roden,
Oh.
right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
showed him a lot of love the other day. He, two-way contract came in and effing won. Like he won the game for them. Like he put
Okay.
the Raptors on their, on his back, and he
Yeah.
he won that game. That's pretty cool. So anyway, all I'm saying is like, it's their rookies and their two-way contract guys. And I get it, right? Like, you're trying to play for your career to establish yourself. So, I mean, yeah, we're still gonna beat him, but they're
Yeah.
like they're a competitive out. Like, like they're competitive tankers.
Right.
You know, did you see Utah last night? Freaking Walker Kessler shot 8 threes.
No, I didn't see it.
Like
And then
that's tanking, man.
yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
is tanking. It's like, oh, so let's see what you can do from three in these games. Go
Yeah,
ahead, go for it.
yeah, dude.
I wonder what type of conversations lead to that on the floor. Like the GM comes down, like you need to just let him go off, right?
No,
Um,
it's just like, yeah, why don't you go ahead, work on expanding your range, expand your range, man.
right,
The dude is like airballing them, right? They're either too short, they're too long, they're hitting the
right,
backboard, like the top of the
yeah,
backboard. I'm like, oh my God,
yeah.
man. So, all right. So, okay. All right. So, Toronto's a win. Then the very next day,
Yeah,
we're
back
back in
to
Detroit hosting the Memphis Grizzlies.
that's are the Grizzlies healthy? That's probably one of the
Not
teams
really. I
I haven't
believe Brandon Clark is out for the season now. Unfortunately, he
again.
had
Good
some kind of
lord,
another kind of malady,
damn,
another injury.
yeah.
They rest Ja like every other game, so I'm not really sure what their schedule is if they have a game before that. I'm trying to look.
Yeah, and they have a pretty good seed. Aren't they like the third or fourth seed in the West?
No, they dropped. They're like the fifth seed right now.
Oh wow, okay.
But I mean, like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, we're like separated by like a game or two. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah. So they might try to show up for that game. But I'm gonna go with us. I'm gonna go with the Pistons for that game.
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like you just reminded me of Asar, and then we got Ron Holland too. You know what I mean? So we can deal with a lot of that wing and guard play. And unless Jaren Jackson Jr. goes off, but I don't it's not like they make a big fuss about them. And like I said, I can't say I've been keeping up with Memphis that heavy this year. You know what I mean? Like I hear about the injuries and Ja earlier talking about, oh, I'm gonna stop dunking and all of that type of stuff. Like I heard that noise, but I can't say I kept up with them like that this year. So
Yeah.
and with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Pistons. But
Okay.
even though I think both teams will be playing for something because we're basically in the seed battle in these last 10,
Yeah.
11, 12 games for pretty much every team that's in the picture. So
Okay.
yeah,
Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. So
Kings.
Monday, April 7th, we're still at the LCA. We host
Mhm.
Sacramento.
Um, I I'm not so big on and I know they got Demontis Sabonis back today, but I'm not. I can't say I'm the biggest on Zach Levine, DeMar DeRozan, like in Demontis Sabonis combination. I mean, it's to be seen, but I'm gonna go with us because I think they just been inconsistent. Period. Just as an, sorry Kings fans, but just as an organization and everything, like it's just been inconsistent. At one point you traded, you got rid of Tyrese Halliburton, then you traded Davion, then now you traded De'Aaron
Crazy,
Fox. Like,
man.
what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I
Crazy.
think like you don't have a real true point guard, so I'm going with the Pistons. I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, I think you put it well. I'll just add again that DeRozan DDR he struggles
Mm.
against Thompson's, so
Yeah.
I'm moving it on.
Yeah.
moving on. Moving on.
Okay. All
So then
right.
you get
No.
we get 3 days of rest actually, or
Yeah.
no 2 days of rest, right?
Hmm.
Because then Thursday, April 10, we host the Knicks.
It's my daughter's birthday. Um.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, princess.
Um.
All right.
Uh. I'm thinking that this is a potential playoff preview, and both teams are going to take it that way. And I feel like you said, you brought up Asar Thompson, and then we do have beef still. We do have Durant to get at Carl Anthony Towns. You know what I mean? And it's not like Bridges and Ananobi have been playing that consistent. It's not like Jalen Brunson is 6'6" or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's not like Cade can't guard him and everybody else can't get in his way. So ultimately, I think that we're going to take that game serious too, because I'm sure they're hearing that noise like, oh, it could be Pistons Knicks. Pistons could beat the Knicks, and that's going to be a game. You know what I mean? But I see us coming out with the win. And then that's going to be like big national media, like, oh, see what I said? You know what I mean?
So this is approximately in what? April 10, and we
Yeah.
are at the 24th. So this is like what, in 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
I would have said if given this late in the season,
Mm.
right? Because after that you have 2 games left in the season.
Yeah.
If Jalen Brunson was playing, or if a healthy Jalen Brunson was playing,
Yeah.
this game is a toss up. But even
Yeah.
if Brunson plays, he's not going to be healthy.
Right.
Like he's not going to be at like 100%. I mean, who is? But realistically, like whatever
Yeah.
players are currently, he's even less than that.
Yeah.
Like for
He's
the remainder of
never
this year,
he's
yeah. But
never
like for the remainder of
100%.
this year, right? Given like that ankle injury, like he's not going to be like fully right.
Right.
Like all that, like in and out, step back, change of direction. Like, dude, you know it. You
Yeah.
played,
Yeah.
right? If you're like even like a second off, like everything's your
Everything is
your
off.
entire mechanics like deteriorate. Again, I'm
Right.
not saying like he's going to be like a shell of himself, but I feel like that just gives an advantage more to the Pistons. So I'm with you. Pistons are going to
Yeah.
win that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll end out the season back to back, a home and home, right? With the
Yep.
Bucks. The Bucks who are right ahead of the Pistons in the standings, right? Last time I checked, aren't they?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Either them or
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah, it is the
It is
Bucks
Milwaukee.
because Indiana is above New York. Yeah. So yep. That first game since it's a back to back, if the Bucks somehow they just had a meeting with Doc Rivers and all that, Dame and Giannis, and if they put something together leading up to this game where they're kind of trending upward, then I'm going to give that game to the Bucks because just because we're on a back to back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then that last game, depending on seeding, where everything sits, regardless of whether they win or lose, and because it's the second game, and because we lost the first one, usually the way these home and home games go, or if it's just the team playing twice at your home, they're like playoff games. You know what I mean? Because you get a
Yeah.
chance to actually game plan. So I think that we will win that last game to close out the season. So yeah. So what's
I'm with
that?
you. I'm gonna go conservatively, and I'll say we're gonna split. We'll split those games.
Hmm. Did I come out with 7-3?
I think we both did. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So
A
congratulations.
47 game win. What?
And keep in mind, right, that the Vegas over under for the Pistons was what 24, 23 and a half.
Exactly.
Right?
And I didn't damn bet because I just knew what was coming. I knew what was
And
coming.
for those of you, if you're listening to this,
Yeah.
right, you remember when you laughed in my face and MJ's face when we even broached the idea that the Pistons would win more than 30 games.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah. Like go back and listen to the pods, man. From October. Um, we had this prediction pod and we broke down the entire schedule. We broke down travel, we broke down back to backs, all of that too. There, we didn't have it necessarily for all the other teams, but we had it for us.
yeah,
And I mean, I kind of went a little bonkers, but if we go 7-3, that's actually not far off at all.
yeah,
So here we are.
yeah. So I mean, I think I think obviously. So yeah, we predict 47 total wins
Yeah,
on the season. I mean, obviously, I mean at this point, barring anything catastrophic, we are a playoff team. Like
yeah,
we're not a play-in team. Like all the
yeah.
teams behind us have like completely like faltered, and I
Hmm.
don't think they can make up that gap. So really, I mean, like you said, I mean, we have 32 losses. The Bucks have 30. Indiana has 29.
Hmm.
It's not crazy.
No, it's not.
Not crazy that we can close that gap. At the very least, we can close the gap on Milwaukee. It's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible.
because they're inconsistent.
Inconsistent enough where Doc Rivers had to have like a meeting with Giannis and
Giannis and
Dame after they
Dame.
lost to the
Was
to
it
the
you
Warriors.
guys? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
you
right.
guys. Oh my God,
So,
Draymond was guarding the hell out of Giannis. Good
and it's funny actually that
Lord.
you brought up right that the
Yeah.
Cavs will probably like give their A game because they're trying to pump up Evan Mobley for DPOY. I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw that. Do you know who now the new Vegas odds leader is for DPOY?
Who?
It's Draymond.
Oh, as it should be.
Yeah, dude.
After that Giannis performance, I'm done. Like,
Dude, I know,
who's
right?
guarding
When
Giannis like that?
he had like that
That's
signature performance.
undersized. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, dude.
no.
6'5", 6'6",
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, no. Just
I think before we wrap up, I want to ask your opinion. And I know you're a Pistons fan, but still, I think you're level-headed enough to give an honest answer. Since we're talking here about regular season awards,
Mm.
what do you think about the idea that Cade is the front runner for most improved? He is right
I
now.
mean,
He's the odds leader.
I can't think of nobody else really like
Denver's
who.
Christian Braun or Brown, I should say.
Yeah,
Atlanta's
yeah.
Dyson Daniels. I don't know
Mm,
if Norman Powell still qualifies for it, but I would put him in there.
I'm going Cade because Dyson is more of a all defense because of what the hell he's done. Especially, I heard earlier that he's got the most deflections. He's
Yeah.
got the most steals, so he has to be all defense somewhere. You know what I mean? Um, Christian Braun is coming along, but he's not better than Cade. You know what I mean?
So the reason why I ask is I want your opinion. I want you to defend Cade's candidacy
because
because
they've
there are
been
a lot of
saying,
fans that are saying that he was already like a 20 plus point per game scorer last year, and he's
mhm,
also the former number one overall pick. So
right.
a lot of fans are saying he shouldn't even be eligible for the award because he was already a good player to begin with.
I mean, but did they think that last year?
I mean,
No.
I don't know. And if they
They
do,
were
they're not going to
talking
give you an
about,
honest
oh,
answer.
Cade's gonna leave.
Right.
Cade's
At the
gonna
very least, they're
demand
probably
a
going to say he put
trade.
up numbers, but on a bad team.
Right.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear your defense for it because, like, right?
Yeah.
Of all my stupid predictions for the season, which some of them were getting kind of like sarcastic,
On point.
but, right? No, they were
Yeah.
not on point. Right? A lot of them were just like either homer picks or something. But the Cade
Yeah.
one, was one that I felt very adamantly about. I was like, I think he's going to win Most Improved Player. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we saw it. We saw it in the preseason. I'm like, dude, this guy's taking a leap. I don't know. So, how would you defend him then to the people that are saying no, he shouldn't get it?
I
He's already
would
a good player.
defend him because all we added to this team was Malik Beasley, THJ, and Tobias Harris. We've taken a leap. We've gone from 2-28 through 30 games and only winning what, like 14 games last year, to if we
Mm-hmm.
win 47, that's a 33 game increase. That's a playoff spot that's not play in. And we also have it where Malik Beasley was in position to he's in position to be the leading 3-point shooter. He has helped Duran open up his game. Um, he has also made it where basically like Ivy was able to do his thing before he got hurt, unfortunately, and get well soon. But like everybody looks good, you know what I mean, next to Cade now, as opposed to last season where it was like a dumpster fire. It was like he was throwing turnovers here and there, and then he would try to have to take over the game, but wasn't able to do it the way that he's done this year. Like this year, he'll come in the third quarter and be like, "Oh, okay, this is where we at," and he'll drop 15. You know what I mean? So it's like we just got done seeing Luca do that the other day, drop 20 in like the first quarter or something like that. But if Cade does it like way more consistently and really get it's been multiple games. So how can we not honor him? You know what I mean? Like he's been doing that as well. So and then we've been playing majority of the season basically without a true backup to him, and he's still been, keeping everything afloat. Like when he's in the games, like I said earlier, we're up, we're plus whatever. And then when he would come out the games, which is why we were begging for a backup point guard, a true backup, a truer backup point guard, not like a scoring Marcus Sasser. You know what I mean? Like somebody to actually facilitate and just kind of keep
Yeah.
the offense kind of glued together. We would fall off without it. So how is he not? Whereas last season we was just trash no matter what. You know what I mean? With him still like being, Cade. But this year is like it's a different Cade. And like I've been
Yeah. I
saying,
mean,
this team has a cadence. That's what it is.
well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I mean, to piggyback off your point, I guess I would say, you brought up THJ, you
Mm-hmm.
brought up Malik Beasley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was THJ's superstar teammate last year?
Kyrie and
Luca.
Luca. Mm-hmm.
Luca. And Luca,
Yep.
who was an MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And yet THJ was deemed not good enough
Yes, he was
to
deemed
continue
trash.
playing on that team. He was
Mm-hmm.
salary dumped.
Yep.
Okay. Who was Beasley's superstar teammate last year?
Giannis and Dame.
Exactly. Who is a former MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was actually in the MVP race also last
Yep.
year. And he was deemed not good enough to be on that team. And as you
Yep.
said, a year later, they're
Yeah.
having career years.
Yep.
Right. So I guess, yeah, you're right. I think you should look at the success of Cade's teammates, not rather than like, oh, he's got good teammates. No, he's elevated them to the point where like they look like great, at the very least, great role players.
Right.
Definitely Beasley, right? Like he has a chance to, finish the league or finish the year leading the league in 3-pointers.
Right.
You know, um,
You would
and
think he would do that
lastly,
with Giannis.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Lastly, too, um, other than like I don't know, offensive rating and like plus like EPM, like estimated plus minus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there is a way to quantify the magnitude of a leap that a player takes.
Right.
But I think, yes, Christian Brown, however says his name, right?
Yeah.
To go where he was like a very superstar dependent role player to like a really good, like kind of like momentum shifting role player
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
But is that necessarily more significant than going from a really good, like leading scorer on a team, 20-point per game guy, to going to an absolute two-way superstar?
Right.
Two-way superstar.
Yeah.
in one season
Yeah.
to make the leap to superstardom.
Yeah. That's what you're saying Cade is at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Like,
I
I
would
don't
say
know
two
if
way as
there is
well.
any number to actually quantify that,
Yeah.
but I don't think it should be downplayed. Like, I don't think it's easy for any player to actually reach that echelon, and he's doing
Right.
it, or
Right.
he's done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, I mean, I think I get what people are saying, but I'm not going to hold his draft status against him
Right.
to
Nah.
try to belittle like his improvement. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And then you did. I'm glad you plugged in the two-way part because Cade gets the blocks at the rim. He gets the stops. He gets the steals. He's been in front of the his whoever's ball handling in front of him better this year. So I mean, and I don't think this is the best he's gonna be yet. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
gonna
mean,
get better.
you said it
Finishing
in
at
the
the rim the
summer.
best. Like
Yeah, you said it before like training camp even broke open. You're like you see Cade like eventually ascending to like a Luca level player, both
mhm,
right, like box score and just impact,
effect. Yeah.
right? A lot of people are seeing that now too, except you now see. I mean, I think most people right now would still pick
Mm,
Luca over Cade, but you're starting to
mhm.
see a lot of people say, you know what? Well, Cade plays defense, so I want Cade.
Exactly. He does.
Like again, see like that. You cannot dismiss that. You just cannot
Right.
dismiss that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
all right, we're good.
Agreed.
I just want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're homers, but like I don't know. I feel like we can make
I
a
mean,
compelling
nah,
argument.
that's accurate.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you had to put Cade with LeBron or leave Luca with LeBron, who do you think would have overall more success? We seen Luca get done in the damn playoffs last year,
Yeah.
and then he just got done seeing Jalen Brown again, and
Yeah.
got done again. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing about Luca. Why did the Mav not to bring the Mavs into this, but just Cade would just be better. He's better as far as being a defender, especially if you got some defenders alongside him. So yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that.
All
Like he
right.
doesn't have to get 13 assists like Luca can get a little bit more assists some games, but he's doing so much and like trying to force it a lot more as well. Like if
Yeah.
Cade is trying to force it and we have some players that are a little bit more specialists in them, then he probably could get a couple more assist numbers, but we don't need that. We're fine. So
Exactly.
yes, K for most improved, K for I want to say first team all NBA.
I mean, well, he's definitely
I'll
going to
go
make
that
All
far.
NBA. At this
Yeah.
point, it would be like an absolute disgrace if he doesn't make just an All NBA team. I feel like he'll maybe get like second.
Second.
Oh, actually, I don't. Well, yeah, probably second. If I
Because
had to
it'll
guess,
probably
I'd say
be
second. I'd say
what
second. If
SGA,
I understand
Jokic
correctly, I don't think are they still. I don't think they're doing positions anymore.
positions. I
They're
don't
not
know, but
doing it. So I think they're just 5, 5,
oh
5.
well,
Like it doesn't
he's
need to
in
be.
there.
Oh, he's
He's in
definitely
there.
in there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I feel like second all team or second team all NBA is
Okay.
probably where he'll land up.
Okay.
Right, no less than third. Obviously, I feel like first is going to be like what SGA,
Jokic.
Jokic,
Hmm.
Tatum.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me two other guys. I'm not sure, but like I feel like
That's probably where K comes in. Because I can't think of. I mean, we said SGA. I mean, do you feel like Anthony Edwards should go in there?
he's going to make an all NBA team. I'm not sure. I got to like really think about like who are the top
Yeah.
five,
Or maybe
right? Because
Donovan
basically it's just who
Mitchell
do you think are
or
the top five players. I feel like Giannis has got to be in there, right? In the top.
yeah, he kind of does.
Uh,
So Giannis, Jokic, SGA, uh, Tatum, Cade. If not, then
maybe,
Cade will be the
maybe,
first name on that second list.
maybe.
Yeah. So we'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see. Y'all
I
give us
feel like
y'all
he'll be on the
ideas out there
second team
too.
with Curry.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, man. Well, this is good.
Yeah.
And
We're
yeah,
back.
we'll definitely tune in. We're tune in before the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Um, but right now, at the very least, I don't know, man. I think
Yeah.
teams definitely don't want to play us in the first round. I'll just
Hell,
leave it at that.
no, they don't. They
Yeah.
don't. So y'all get y'all fan bases together. Get scared quick. Go tank or something if you don't want to see us. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all can give us y'all predictions too on the awards, especially with the Pistons. Just tap in the comments on YouTube, share. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe for sure. Um, and yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back soon. So yeah, thank y'all for listening.
Take care.
Good night.